These are some of the pipes and blowpipes that we use in our work. And these are some of the hand tools that we use on the glass itself. And this is the bench that we sit at when we're shaping and working on the pieces. Some of the various colors that we use in these bins here, every shade of color you can imagine. And these colors here are laid out in the trays, the ones that we're using on this project. A variety of gold, blue, white. Here are the colors being applied onto clear glass. So we applied many layers of different colors. Some of them are powder, some of them are frit. Each time we apply color, we take it over to the glory hole and we melt that in. It's about 2200 degrees inside of that furnace there. That's used to reheat the glass continuously throughout the process. We also pick up some color off the table here. We have it laid out in a line so we can place it a little bit more deliberately. But for the most part, the color is patched on. It's not super precise application of color. We use this to pattern the glass. It's a series of ridges, and then we roll it in the white, creates a series of white stripes. And then we use this tool to grab the end, twist the pipe. So now the lines are rotating around the piece. It just creates a pattern in the color. Heavy layers of white, about 6 or 7 coats of white are applied onto the piece. This backs up all of the other colors that were applied previously. So Liz is using a pad of wet newspaper to shape the glass, to give it some symmetry. And then we need more glass, so we're going to dip it back in the furnace. We're going to encase that with a layer of clear glass that will increase the size and creates another layer for us to add more color onto. So it's a process of building up the size. So in this case, we gather 3 times from the furnace to get that much glass. And we're just cooling off the pipe. At this point, we're going to apply a layer of gray frit. Actually 2 coats of that will go onto the surface. We're applying the first coat. That gets melted in, and then a second coat will be applied over that. So when the hot glass is rolled in this, it sticks to it. So we're using this Marver table. It's a steel table to shape the glass, and we make the end of it pointed. It also cools it, and then Liz is blowing into the pipe and inflating it. But the pointed bottom protects that bottom from blowing out too thin. So now we bring it over to the bench. We're working on a neckline, which is where it breaks off of the pipe eventually. And again, using the newspaper to shape the bubble. And I am blowing into the end of the pipe at this point. So I'm inflating it while she's using the newspapers to control how it blows out. So we've switched the piece around onto another pipe, which we didn't have footage of. And using what's called the metal jacks to open and stretch the shape of it. And we also have wooden parchofis, another version of a tool to use to shape and open the piece. So we're opening it up a bit more this time, using the newspapers on the outside. The color has a huge effect on how things open up. And then we get it really hot at the end, and spin it really fast. The glass is stretching, and then we'll hang it down a bit. Gravity pulls on it. It's really moving around a lot, so you have to be very careful.
Nice.